Happy First Contact Day to all. For those not in the know, April 5th, 2063 is the date in Trek history when scientist Zefram Cochrane broke the lightspeed barrier in his ship, the Phoenix. In reaching warp speed, he draws a Vulcan ship to Earth, where he makes humanity's first ever contact with an alien civilization. This is the defining event of the saga's story, the moment in which our world joins the galactic stage, forms the United Federation of Planets and Starfleet, and launches the voyages we all know as Star Trek. We get to see this story, well, mostly, in the movie First Contact. Two of my absolute favorite non-Trek movies on the subject are 1997's Contact and 2016's Arrival. The idea of meeting life beyond our planet and solar system is a profound one explored seriously, not just in fiction, but by true science and philosophy. Carl Sagan referred to the eventuality of first contact as the beginning of the deprovincialization of our world. NASA has sent probes beyond the solar system that could be found, and there are multiple projects that scan the skies for radio transmissions or other signs of extraterrestrial life. The chemical ingredients are common throughout the universe, as are potentially inhabitable planets. In other words, there's a very strong chance that there is someone else out there who we may one day communicate to, or even meet in person. I wanted to make use of this day to share the significance this holiday has with me beyond our favorite science fiction story. I got to meet Zefram Cochrane a few months ago. Except no, I didn't. Just as Leonard Nimoy co-created and played Spock, but was not Spock in fact, James Cromwell is James Cromwell, not Zefram Cochrane. But when I met James Cromwell, we were participating in animal rights actions in Utah. You should at this point just accept that since I am a vegan and an animal rights activist, that is the lens I will view a lot of my Trek reviews and commentaries from. Anyway, we and hundreds of other activists marched in the streets of Salt Lake City, brought our message about factory farm conditions to the state capitol, and even participated in the release of 100 turkeys by the Norbest Company, birds who were saved from slaughter and taken to animal sanctuaries. This was the event where I myself chose to commit to a vegan lifestyle and become an activist for good. Since I know Cromwell mostly from his role in Star Trek First Contact, it was impossible not to draw a parallel between his role as Zefram Cochrane, who changed a fictional world for the better, and his role as an activist, helping to make our real world better. And yes, when I got to talk to him, I mentioned that I loved his work in both Star Trek and The Artist, that silent film from 2012. Seeing him speak so passionately, I did have a sense that this was an iconic figure making history. But he is not the man who invented warp drive. He is a man who joined many other brave and noble people who champion animal rights and challenge our own species to reach for a higher moral standard. Zefram Cochrane and Star Trek are not real, but the ideas within them are real. That's what First Contact Day means to me. Taking a day to recognize how far our species has come, and to imagine how we might go farther still in the future, and if we might do it more kindly or wisely than we have done. Great art should inspire us to even greater action. The true significance of whatever cultural icons you cherish should be the way it changes who you are and what you do. One day, First Contact will no longer be a fiction, but the grand fact of history. What kind of civilization will we have to show for it on that day? What kind of human would you want to have speaking for our world? You and I can decide. One more parting thought. We search for life out among the stars, wondering if we are alone in the universe. But look around you. In the trees and fields, in oceans and mountains, the skies and the rooftops, underground and in our homes. We are not alone even on this planet. Life is everywhere here. Some nearly identical to us. Some more alien than the weirdest sci-fi movie. Some as unconscious, like the bountiful plant life, but much of it is alive the way we are. The animals who are our natural neighbors. Most of them are much simpler or less intelligent, but they have minds, consciousness, and feeling. In all the ways that matter, they are like us who call ourselves the dominant species. If the future is to be a humane one, if this world is somehow ruled by us, then should we not choose to be compassionate rulers? Do you want to remain part of our primal past, or will you take steps to reach for a future worthy of calling human? There are many ways to realize that future, and maybe we are not ready for certain changes. It's up to us to discuss how to make that better world, our responsibility to engage with ideas, even if they're informed by works of fiction. If stories like Star Trek signify anything, it is their illustrations of who we could be in reality.